She smirked. Why would I stop texting other guys? We're not married. After a year together, I said, fair enough. Then I started talking to her cousin. When we all showed up at the same family dinner, she finally realized what not married really meant. I'm Derek, 29, and I work in tech consulting for a mid-sized firm in the city. A year ago, I genuinely thought I'd found someone I could actually build a future with. Her name was Jenna, 27, kindergarten teacher, supposedly wholesome and family-oriented. We met through mutual friends at a birthday party in April last year, hit it off immediately over our shared love of terrible reality TV and Italian food, and within 3 months we were exclusive. Or so I thought. The problems started around month 8, somewhere in late December. I noticed she was always on her phone, always laughing at texts she wouldn't show me. At first, I figured it was just her friends or maybe her teacher group chat, but it was constant. We'd be watching a movie and her phone would buzz every 5 minutes. She'd smile at the screen, type back quickly, then set it down face down. When I asked who she was talking to, she'd get immediately defensive. Just friends, Derek. God, you're so insecure. I let it slide because I didn't want to be that boyfriend, the controlling type who monitors every message. But it kept happening. At dinners, at the movies, even when we were in bed watching TV at night, her phone would light up and she'd smile at the screen like I wasn't even there. One night in early March, I finally asked her directly. We were at my apartment, supposed to be having a quiet evening together. I'd made dinner, poured wine, set everything up nice. She'd been texting someone for the past 20 minutes straight, while I sat there like furniture, watching her thumbs fly across the screen. Jenna, who are you talking to? She didn't even look up. Does it matter? Yeah, actually, it does. We're supposed to be spending time together. She finally glanced at me, and there was this expression on her face I'll never forget. Part annoyed, part amused, like I was a child asking a stupid question. Derek, they're just guy friends. We talk. It's not a big deal. Guy friends you're texting at 11 at night while you're with your boyfriend? That seems excessive. She actually rolled her eyes. We're not married, Derek. Why would I stop texting other guys? I'm allowed to have friends. I had a life before you, and I still have one now. I stared at her, feeling something shift in my chest. Friends, sure. But this feels like more than that. You're on your phone more when you're with me than you are actually with me. Well, it's not. And honestly, you need to chill out. This jealousy thing isn't attractive. You're being paranoid. I remember feeling this cold clarity wash over me, like everything suddenly made sense. Okay, fair enough. She blinked, clearly surprised I wasn't going to fight about it. Okay? That's it? Yeah. You're right. We're not married. Do whatever you want. She smiled, satisfied with her victory, and went back to her phone. I went back to watching the show, but my mind was already somewhere else entirely. The rest of that evening was quiet. She left around midnight, gave me a distracted kiss goodbye, and was texting someone before she even got to her car. Here's what Jenna didn't know. I'd met her family multiple times over the past year. Big Italian family, loud and warm, lots of cousins, lots of Sunday dinners at her mom's house in the suburbs. One of those cousins was Sophia, 26, who worked in marketing for a startup and had just moved back to town after living in Boston for 3 years. We'd talked a few times at family gatherings, always friendly, always brief. She was attractive, smart, witty, and from what I could tell, single. We'd bonded once over our mutual hatred of cilantro at a barbecue, and another time about how terrible the subway system was compared to Boston's. Nothing deep, but enough that I knew she was cool. The next day, I sent Sophia a friend request on Instagram. She accepted within an hour. I waited a full day, not wanting to seem desperate or weird, then messaged her something casual about a marketing campaign I'd seen on a billboard that reminded me of something she'd mentioned at the last family dinner. She responded enthusiastically. We started talking. About work at first, then about living in the city, then about our favorite restaurants, books, podcasts, life in general. The conversations were easy, natural. She'd respond quickly, ask follow-up questions, actually engage. It was refreshing. I wasn't doing this to hurt Jenna, at least not at first. I was doing it because Jenna had made it abundantly clear we weren't serious enough for exclusivity to matter. And Sophia was easy to talk to. She was funny, engaged, asked about my day, actually put her phone down when we eventually met for coffee 2 weeks later at this place near her office. That coffee turned into dinner the following week at a Thai restaurant we both loved. Then drinks at a rooftop bar. Then a Saturday afternoon walking through the farmer's market, buying fresh bread and talking about everything and nothing. Sophia knew I was dating her cousin, of course. It came up naturally during one of our dinners in late April. "How are things with you and Jenna?" she asked, stirring her drink. I shrugged. Honestly, I don't know anymore. She's made it pretty clear I'm not her priority. Sophia nodded slowly, choosing her words carefully. Jenna's always been like that, even growing up. She likes attention, lots of it. From everyone. She was the pretty one in the family, always had boys chasing her, and I think she got used to it. Yeah, I'm definitely getting that impression now. Are you guys serious? Like, is this going somewhere? She doesn't seem to think so. She told me we're not married, so she can do whatever she wants. Sophia's eyebrows shot up. She said that? Word for word. Wow, that's harsh. Yeah. She looked at me for a long moment, something unreadable in her eyes. And what do you think? Do you want it to go somewhere? I think I'm figuring things out, reevaluating what I actually want. Meanwhile, Jenna and I were still technically together, but we were barely seeing each other. She was always busy, always tired, always texting someone else when we did manage to meet up. I stopped initiating plans after a while, curious to see if she'd notice. She didn't. When we did hang out, it felt like we were roommates who tolerated each other, not a couple in love. She'd scroll through her phone, I'd scroll through mine, and we'd exist in the same space without really connecting. The relationship had become a habit neither of us had the energy to break. By mid-May, Sophia and I were talking every single day. Nothing physical had happened yet, but the emotional connection was undeniable and growing stronger. She'd text me good morning with a coffee emoji. We'd send each other funny videos during the day. We'd talk on the phone for hours at night about our dreams, our childhoods, our fears. It felt like what things with Jenna should have felt like but never did. With Sophia, I felt seen, heard, appreciated. Update 1. The family dinner happened on Sunday, May 18th. Jenna's mom hosted, like she did every few months, turning it into this massive Italian feast. Big spread, 20+ people, the whole extended family crammed into her house. Jenna had mentioned it to me a week earlier, casually, like an afterthought while she was scrolling through Instagram. Sunday dinner at my mom's. You're coming, right? Sure. Okay, cool. It starts at 3. What she didn't know was that Sophia had also invited me. Separately. We'd been texting about it for days, half joking about the chaos of showing up together, but also kind of excited about it in a reckless way. We both knew it was going to be messy, but neither of us wanted to hide anymore. I arrived at 3 p.m. sharp. Jenna's mom answered the door, pulled me into one of her signature crushing hugs, told me to make myself at home, and that there was already wine on the counter. Jenna was in the kitchen with her sister and aunt, barely acknowledged me when I walked in. She glanced up from her phone for half a second. Hey, she said flatly, then went back to typing. Hey. That was it. No hug, no kiss, no smile. Nothing. I might as well have been the mailman. I grabbed a beer from the cooler and made small talk with her dad and uncle in the living room about the Mets game. Sophia showed up 20 minutes later. When she walked through the door, our eyes met across the crowded room, and she gave me this small, knowing smile that made my heart skip. She looked amazing, floral sundress, hair down in loose waves, confident and radiant. She made her rounds, saying hello to everyone, hugging her aunts, kissing her grandmother's cheek, and when she finally got to me, she touched my arm lightly, let her hand linger just a second too long. "Hey, stranger." "Hey, yourself. You look great." "So do you." Jenna noticed. I saw her glance over from across the kitchen, phone still in hand, but she didn't say anything. Just stared for a moment, then went back to whatever conversation she was having via text. Dinner was loud and chaotic like always, everyone talking over each other, passing dishes, telling stories, laughing. I ended up sitting between Sophia and Jenna's Uncle Tony. Jenna sat across the table, 3 seats down, next to her cousin Marco and her mom. She was on her phone for most of the meal, laughing at something, typing furiously with one hand while pushing pasta around her plate with the other. Her mom asked her twice to put it away. She ignored her. Sophia leaned over at one point and whispered in my ear, "Is she seriously texting at her own family dinner?" I just shook my head and took another bite of lasagna. After dinner, people scattered, some outside to smoke cigars and drink espresso, some in the living room watching soccer, some in the kitchen cleaning up and gossiping. I went outside to the patio where a few of the younger cousins were having drinks and playing cards. Sophia followed a few minutes later, 2 glasses of wine in her hands. She handed me one. "Want to take a walk?" "I need to escape the chaos for a minute." "Sure, I could use some air." We walked around the block slowly, talking and laughing about her uncle's terrible jokes and her grandmother's insistence that everyone was too skinny. The evening was warm, the sun just starting to set, painting everything golden. At one point, Sophia grabbed my hand. It felt natural, easy, right, like we'd been doing it for years. When we got back to the house 30 minutes later, Jenna was standing in the driveway, arms crossed, face flushed. Her phone was nowhere in sight. "Where were you?" "Took a walk." Her eyes shifted to Sophia, then back to me, narrowing. "With her?" "Yeah." "Are you kidding me right now, Derek?" Sophia stepped forward calmly. "Jenna, relax. We were just talking, getting some air." "Talking?" "You two were holding hands. I saw you from the window. I watched you walk down the entire street holding hands like you're together." I stayed calm, kept my voice level. "Jenna, you told me we're not married. You told me I don't get to tell you who you can text or see. You said I was being jealous and paranoid, so why would you care if I'm talking to Sophia?" Her face went from red to almost purple. "That's different." "How?" "Because she's my cousin. My family. There are boundaries, Derek. And the guys you're texting all day and night, who are they? Where are those boundaries?" She stammered, caught off guard. That's not the same thing at all." "You're right. It's not. Because Sophia actually wants to spend time with me. She actually talks to me. She asks about my day. She looks at me when we're together. She's not on her phone ignoring me every single time we're in the same room." Update 2. Jenna completely lost it. Started yelling about betrayal, about boundaries, about family loyalty. Her voice got louder and louder, echoing through the quiet suburban street. Sophia tried to calm her down, but Jenna turned on her viciously, pointing her finger. "You're a backstabbing bitch. I can't believe my own cousin would do this to me. Family is supposed to have your back." People started coming outside to see what the commotion was about. Jenna's mom, her sister, her dad, her aunts and uncles. It was a full scene, the kind of family drama that would be talked about for years. "Derek, what is going on out here?" her mom asked, looking worried and confused. Before I could answer, Jenna shouted, "He's been sneaking around with Sophia behind my back." "They're together. They've been lying to everyone." "Sneaking around?" I said, my voice steady and calm, which only seemed to make her angrier. "We've been talking. getting to know each other as friends, which according to you shouldn't be a problem because we're not married. Those were your exact words. Her sister's eyes went wide. Wait, Jenna, did you actually say that to him? Jenna's face went from red to pale in an instant. That's not... I didn't mean... You're twisting my words. You literally told me 2 months ago, sitting in my apartment, that you don't have to stop texting other guys because we're not married. You said I was being jealous and insecure for even asking about it. You said I needed to chill out because it wasn't attractive. Sophia spoke up, her voice firm. Jenna, is that true? Did you really say that? Jenna looked around at her family, all of them staring at her, waiting for an answer. It's out of context. He's making it sound worse than it was. There is no context that makes that okay, her dad said quietly, disappointment heavy in his voice. Her mom crossed her arms. Jenna Marie, did you say that to this man? Jenna's eyes filled with tears. I just meant I should be able to have friends without him breathing down my neck every second. He was being controlling. Friends don't text at all hours of the night, Sophia said. Friends don't make you feel invisible in your own relationship. I've watched you ignore him at family dinners for months. I added, and friends don't get treated better than your actual boyfriend. Every single guy in your phone gets more attention than I do. You smile at your phone more than you smile at me. Jenna tried to redirect, her voice getting desperate. This doesn't excuse you going after my cousin. That's a violation. That's disgusting. I didn't go after anyone. Sophia and I became friends. We connected over real conversations. And unlike you, she actually makes me feel like I matter. Like I'm not just some placeholder until something better comes along. Jenna's sister muttered, Oh my God, Jenna, what is wrong with you? Her mom looked at me sadly. Derek, I'm so sorry. I had no idea she was treating you like this. Update 3. The rest of the dinner was incredibly awkward. Jenna locked herself in the upstairs bathroom for 20 minutes, crying loudly enough that everyone could hear. Her mom kept apologizing to me, saying she didn't raise her daughter to treat people like that she was embarrassed. Her dad shook my hand firmly and said, You seem like a good kid. You deserve better than this. I'm sorry she put you through it. When Jenna finally came out, her eyes red and swollen, she avoided everyone, grabbed her purse from the kitchen counter, and left without saying goodbye to anyone. Her car peeled out of the driveway. Sophia and I stayed for another hour. We helped clean up, dried dishes, talked with her family. Turns out, a lot of them had noticed Jenna's behavior over the past year and were glad someone finally called her out on it. Her aunt said Jenna had always been self-centered, but had gotten worse lately. Her sister admitted she'd tried to talk to Jenna about the phone thing, but got shut down immediately. Sophia and I left together around 8. Sat in my car in the driveway for a while, just talking, processing everything that had happened. That was absolutely insane, she said, laughing nervously. Yeah, I didn't think it would blow up like that. Are you okay? Honestly? I feel relieved, like this weight I've been carrying for months just lifted. She smiled. Me too. I've wanted to tell you how I felt for weeks, but didn't want to complicate things. And now? Now I don't care about complicated. Life's too short. So, what happens now? I don't know. But I'd really like to find out. With you. I kissed her. Right there in the driveway, in front of her family's house, with the porch light on and her uncle definitely watching from the window. And it felt like the first honest, real thing that had happened in months. Jenna texted me 47 times that night. Called me a liar, a manipulator, a snake. Said I'd planned this whole thing to humiliate her in front of her family. Said I was pathetic and desperate. Said Sophia was trash. I didn't respond to any of it. Just read them, felt nothing, and went to bed. The next morning, I sent one message. We're done. Lose my number. Then I blocked her. She showed up at my apartment 2 days later, crying, begging for another chance, Said she'd delete all the guys' numbers, said she'd be better, said she loved me and couldn't imagine her life without me. I told her it was too late, that she didn't love me. She loved the idea of me being there whenever she decided to pay attention. She called me every name in the book, screamed at me in the hallway, then finally left when I threatened to call security. Final update. It's been 4 months since that dinner. Sophia and I are officially together, and it's everything a relationship should be. Easy, supportive, fun, passionate. We laugh constantly. We actually talk. We put our phones down. Her family loves us together, which is hilarious considering how it started. Even Jenna's mom hugged me at a family barbecue in July and whispered, "I'm glad you found someone who appreciates you. You two are good together." Jenna, from what I've heard through the family grapevine, is still single and still doing the same thing, texting multiple guys, keeping them all on rotation, refusing to commit to anyone. Her sister told Sophia that Jenna complains about me constantly at brunch, says I ruined her life and humiliated her, but also admitted in a moment of honesty that she took me for granted and regrets it now. No kidding. I don't regret how it happened. Did I handle it perfectly? Probably not. Could I have broken up with her first before pursuing Sophia? Sure, but Jenna made the rules. She told me we weren't serious enough to care about boundaries. She told me I was paranoid for even asking. I just took her at her word. And when she realized what that actually meant, when she saw someone else treating me the way she should have been treating me all along, it was too late. Edit 1. A lot of people are asking if I feel bad about Sophia being her cousin. Honestly, number. Sophia and Jenna were never that close growing up. They saw each other at family events, but didn't really talk outside of that. They're not friends. And Sophia had no idea how Jenna was treating me until we started talking, and I opened up about it. Edit 2. Yes, Jenna still tries to text me sometimes from different numbers. I have her blocked everywhere. Sophia thinks it's funny and pathetic. We joke about it now. Edit 3. For everyone saying I'm petty or that I should have just broken up with her first. Yeah, maybe. But I'm also happy now. Really happy. So I'll take it.